So, according to the internet, Supergirl was this awful, terrible, don't go see this movie film, and it really was not that bad. Hello, guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I am here to talk about the infamous 2026 Supergirl film. This is my very first movie review on this channel. Really excited to get into this movie, get into my opinion, what I thought about it, and I know it's going to be different than 99% of the internet because everyone and their moms cannot stop talking about how freaking bad this movie was. The movie was not that bad. It really was not that bad. Was it perfect? No, not at all. But was it commit 14 million different war crimes? Absolutely not. This movie was not terrible. Before I do start my review, though, I want to put out a quick disclaimer. Before seeing the film, I went in borderline blind on the source material. I'm not read Woman of Tomorrow, and I'm not the most knowledgeable on Zor-El or Supergirl or anything like that. I knew just about basic information about the character in the world of Superman and Supergirl. So my perspective is definitely going to be different than somebody who's been a lifelong fan or has read Woman of Tomorrow. So I just want to put that out there before getting into the review, but let's get started. Supergirl was fun. It was action packed, and I had a great time watching this movie. At the time of me filming this review, I had seen the movie about 6 different times. Guys, I have an unlimited pass to my local movie theater. It was inevitable. One thing you have to know about me, if I like a movie, I'm going to see it multiple times. That's just who I am. What I really enjoyed about this film is that we got a different version of Zor-El than Sasha Cage's version in The Flash in 2023 or the CW's Zor-El. This is something we have never seen out of the character, and that's what really intrigued me to go see this film in the first place. The best part about this film was Millie Alcock's portrayal of Zor-El. When I saw her in the last few moments of Superman last year, I was like, who is this baddie? Who is this girl? And why am I already obsessed with her? And a year later, I'm here to confirm that she absolutely nailed this role. I don't think there was anyone more perfect than Millie Alcock to play this role, and I'm glad Craig Gillespie and James Gunn thought the same thing, because holy shit, like, she just stood out in the best way possible. The performance of this role really just felt so emotional and raw, and by the end of the movie, you were rooting for her. You wanted her to win. Did she make bad decisions? Yes. But did she always take the harder route for everything? 100%. But that is why I loved this character. She was human. She was relatable, messy. She's broken. She feels like a failure in her life, and she's carrying immense amounts of grief and loss, and she's just using alcohol to cope with all these feelings instead of trying to feel them. That is what makes her portrayal of Kara so human. In ways, I found myself honestly relating to Kara a little bit. Themes of trying to prove yourself, dealing with loss, carrying grief, all while trying to still see the good in life, are messages I can really connect to, especially within the past year of my life, my own personal life. Struggles that I had to go through just hit close to home, seeing a character that I wasn't really knowledgeable about, I really didn't know about, seeing all these human traits and characteristics and stuff that people go through in their day-to-day lives just felt very relatable, and I just found myself falling in love with the character as I kept watching the film. So watching her fight those inner demons, while throughout the movie we see that she's becoming someone that Ruthie will looking up to, also shows the message of resilience and, finding that inner strength when you think you don't have any left, which is another really powerful message I'm glad that this film is showing to not only young girls, but young boys and young children as a general. I think Millie had said this in an interview. She wanted not just young girls, but young boys to be like, wow, like, she's badass, she's cool, I want to be like her. Maybe the message that you should get from this is like, it doesn't matter who you are, you have the strength to keep going, and even when you think you don't have it, even when you think you're down and out, you're not, and you can find that strength within yourself. And I think Kara does a great job. Kara and Ruthie honestly do a great job of showing that throughout this movie. Speaking of Miss Ruthie Marie Knoll, portrayed by Eve Ridley, I will say, first time I saw the movie, I was not Ruthie's biggest fan. I actually did not like her character. She was actually quite annoying, honestly. I could not stand Ruthie at all. After a couple watches, my opinion has really changed on her character, and I really do adore the character of Ruthie. And to realize how important Ruthie's character was to not just the plot but to Kara's own personal journey, he becomes this kind of like beacon of what good actually means, if that makes sense. The movie's main theme is talking about revenge and if revenge is really worth it in the end. And Ruthie is in the pinnacle of that conversation because her main plot armor is getting revenge and killing Krem of the Yellow Hill because he murdered her whole family. To an extent, honestly, I could see herself and Ruthie a little bit. And while stories aren't the same, they both understand what it means to lose and to go through grief. Showcase that Kara does not want Ruthie to make a mistake that she is going to regret later in life. I feel like Kara can definitely relate to that of making mistakes, especially when we learn more about her backstory, about Argo City, going to Earth, that she doesn't want to make mistakes that she's going to regret. And I feel like to an extent, Kara does still kind of regret leaving her parents in Argo City to basically die. But she knew it was for the greater good. She had to leave. Because Kara doesn't want Ruthie to make certain mistakes. That is initially why she helps her in the first place. Want her to do anything stupid like we see on the bus. She clearly told Ruthie to stay back with Krypto, but Ruthie didn't listen. And I think that's another reason why Kara could probably see herself in Ruthie, because I think that's the same thing Kara wouldn't do. I don't think Kara would listen to anybody telling her to stay behind when she knows she wants to do something. So I also really loved seeing their bond grow together throughout the movie. I feel like they were the perfect duo. And I also really loved that there was no love interest for Kara. There was nothing romantic. It was a story about finding your inner self and your inner strength. I thought that rocked as a main message, and seeing that go into Ruthie's character development by the end of the film was perfect. I really did enjoy that in this film. Now, as I just said how much of what I loved about this movie, now it's time to talk about what I didn't like and what should have been done better in this movie. Because this movie is 1000% not perfect. There were a lot of things that I felt like could have been different in this movie that would have made this movie even better. Let's start off with what I deem to be the biggest disappointment in this whole movie: the soundtrack. You're thinking, Allie, what was wrong with the soundtrack? Oh, what was not wrong with the damn soundtrack? Start off that there were definitely songs that I thought worked in this movie. This Summer by Sleigh Bells, the opening song when we first see Kara in the ship, I thought that song was great. I love that song. Immediately added to my playlist. I also really liked the song that they played in the bar before she saw Ruthie. I'll probably put that somewhere on the screen here. I also really liked Safe Word by Halsey, which was the song that was played during the fight sequence on Bilky, which I will get to later because that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I loved that scene. There were definitely some songs that I felt like didn't need to be in the movie. The middle. My biggest problem with this soundtrack. If you look up any video, any video promo, marketing, anything, if you scroll through the goddamn Supergirl Instagram page, all you're gonna hear is "Call me on the line, call me." That is Blondie's "Call Me." All of the marketing, all of the promo, all you heard was "Call Me." Can anyone tell me how many times they used "Call Me" in the actual movie? No. I'll wait. Yeah, that's right. It was not used in the movie at all whatsoever. Not a single Blondie song was used in the whole movie. I thought "Call Me" was going to be this movie's version of Punk Rocker from Superman last year, because I thought Punk Rocker was such a great song and it really became a song for Superman. And I was really hoping, well, I wouldn't say that "Call Me" isn't Supergirl's song. I feel like when I think of Supergirl, I'm always going to think of "Call Me." That song will always be stuck with the film and with the character. But you missed out a killer song to put in your movie. And I feel like "Call Me" would have been a perfect song to play during the final battle. We'll get to that later. There's a couple songs I felt like that would have been better than the song we got of the needle drop anyways. That you literally used "Call Me" in like every single promo known to man. You had Blondie there herself. She showed up to the premiere, and Kara, throughout the whole movie, when she isn't in her suit, was wearing a damn Blondie shirt. But not one single Blondie song was played. My other issue with this film, all the lovely Craig Gillespie was our director for Supergirl. Mr. Gunn was a producer. You could still feel his fingerprints all over this damn movie. James Gunn, please. You're hurting me at this point. You're hurting. There were multiple moments in this film that vaguely reminded me of the Guardians franchise, specifically the third installment. Krem enslaving little girls, the planets looking very similar to the designs that James Gunn used for all the Guardians movies. Some of the fight sequences even felt kind of like a Guardians-esque fight scene. Kind of really annoyed me. It annoyed me in a way where like it just felt unoriginal, like I have seen this somewhere before. And with this movie, I was really hoping to get something unique and original, and it really just lacked that aspect, and that made me very upset. If I wanted to watch Guardians Volume 3, I'd watch Guardians Volume 3. It was a great film, and he did a fantastic job with the movie. If I wanted to watch that, I would go watch that. I came to watch Supergirl, and it felt like I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy with a side of Supergirl at some moments. The thing I want to talk about is I did do some research on the Women of Tomorrow comic. I am planning on buying it and reading it because it just looks so freaking dope and so cool. And I really want to know a little bit more of where this film was trying to go and more of the source material. After watching the movie and researching this comic, I really wish they would have leaned more into the comic and more of what they were essentially supposed to be going off of. Like the comic had so much vibrancy, color, life. It looks stunning. It disappointed me to see that they kind of went the way they did with some of the scenery and sets and design overall, when you had a perfect outline with Women of Tomorrow and you just decided to not go with it. And I see why James and Craig decided to take Women of Tomorrow out of the title and just call it Supergirl, because that would have made it worse. You would have dug the hole deeper for yourself having Woman of Tomorrow in the title. When you compare the comic and what we got in the movie, it was just two separate things, honestly. Not to mention, they did change a lot of things. They changed Kara's backstory, and they changed the way the movie ended, which I will get into later, because the comic, of what I know, ended differently than how the film itself ended. Like some of the aesthetics from Woman of Tomorrow really did get lost in translation while making this film. I now want to talk about, you guys didn't see that, but two things I feel like the internet has been debating since this film came out. And the first thing I want to talk about, you guessed it, needle drop. The needle drop. We're looking towards the end of the film. We see the last big fight sequence when Kara is fighting all of the brigands. Ruthie is standing in the middle of what it seems to be a dust storm because of Kara's flying, and she's just beating up all these brigands. As this fight sequence is going on, we get a interesting rendition of The Middle. After seeing this movie a few times, I still do not like the song choice. I just saw the movie yesterday with one of my good friends, and we sat there laughing in the theater because of how fucking stupid this song is. This is the moment where we could have used Call Me. We could have used Call Me in this fight sequence. But for some reason, everything will be just fine. Everything okay. However, I have seen the movie a couple times. I think I have a better understanding as to why they did choose this song. Do listen to the lyrics of the song and the specific rendition they chose for this song. You could make an argument that the lyrics are kind of speaking to Ruthie in a way. And I think that's what I guess makes the song a little bit more tolerable, or makes more sense as to why they did choose this song. He's watching Kara fight, watching what a true hero looks like. And the lyrics to me almost become like a sense of reassurance. Like if you think of the lyrics, everything will be just fine. Everything will be all right. I kind of made that connection after like the third watch that I had. I still don't like it, but honestly, I can somewhat understand what they were trying to do with this song. Another good song choice for this scene would have been Just a Girl by No Doubt. And it's funny because in an interview, Millie actually did say that Just a Girl would kind of be Kara's theme song.
Like, what is Kara's theme song?
I feel like I'm Just a Girl by Doubt.
That, but I do think that James Gunn probably thought a certain red and black brand probably would not have liked that. Granted, there is a scene with a female hero where she does her last big fight sequence to that song. If you know, you know. Best song choice, but I guess I understand it. Not really, but kind of. And finally, there is Miss Cara Zor-El inevitably killing Creme of the Yellow Hill. I truly don't think anyone's ever going to agree the way that Craig and James chose to end this, but it happened. She did it. A little weird because the whole film, Car is telling Ruthie, "Don't kill him. Revenge isn't worth it. You're gonna live with guilt." She turns around and shoves a sword in his stomach and in his throat. So, on the surface, like, yeah, it's a bit hypocritical. Pondering the thought more, I feel like it's really not that simple. It's a little bit more complex as to why Kara inevitably chose to kill Creme. I said earlier about the Women of Tomorrow or the Woman of Tomorrow comic. At the end of the comic, Ruthie does kill Creme, not Kara. Ruthie does end up killing Creme, and they changed it to make Kara kill Creme instead, which just added a level of, which gave the haters another reason to not like this movie. Because a part of me kind of wonders, has this version of Kara killed before? I researched, and there are multiple DC continuities and different comics and different ideations of the character that do kill if need be. You know, Kara is, you know, she tends to get a little bit more aggressive and is a little bit more off the leash in the sense of that if you push her enough, she will definitely kill you. For her character, this is not shocking to me. Like, I didn't see anything personally wrong with it. Like, yes, surface level, it is a bit of a hypocritical thing for her to do after she told Ruthie the whole movie to not do it. I think Kara kills Creme out of her own personal revenge. I just think she does it so Ruthie doesn't have to. So she doesn't have to carry that baggage of, there's another word that's not baggage that I can't, no, regret that she could build down the line of murdering him, not necessarily for no reason. She did kill somebody, if what I'm saying is making sense. Clearly Kara is in a state, this version of Kara that we're meeting is in a state where she does not take easy routes sometimes. Don't really care what she does sometimes. She's a little reckless, and that's why I like her. And her killing Creme is not as big of an issue as people are making it to be. To me, it's a non-issue. But like I said, maybe my opinion is different because I don't know as much as a lifelong diehard. I think that's a pretty non-issue. Overall, to conclude this review, I genuinely love this movie so much, and I that's why I keep seeing it, because I really did love this movie. Is it perfect? No, not at all. Not even in the realm of being perfect. But also, I'm a person that doesn't believe anything is perfect. Nothing will be perfect. Nobody will be perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect. And nothing has to be perfect for it to be good. Something can be good and it not be this like stellar, project that has been released. And also, I found a new appreciation for a character I didn't know I was going to fall in love with. I now love Kara Zor-El so much, and now I feel like I have to do my deep dive on her. I want to read Woman of Tomorrow. I really do love the character of Kara Zor-El so much. So ended up growing a love for Millie Alcock. This was the first time I've ever seen her on screen. I did not watch House of the Dragon. So I actually am meaning to watch Sirens now after seeing Millie in this movie. Millie freaking rocks as Kara, and anyone telling you otherwise is a basement dweller hater or a straight man. And the hate that Millie has been getting is actually ridiculous. You know those monkeys that were in Superman last year?
My monkey bots here farming outrage 24/7, trashing you online. Hashtag super shit.
Actually, please grow the up. Like, it's so embarrassing. Cannot wait for MOANA tomorrow. At the time I'm filming this video, we are exactly 1 year away from MOANA tomorrow. Another thing I forgot to mention. I really like the dynamic between Kara and Clark.
I am a fucking architect.
Can't wait to get more of that in MOANA tomorrow, and I just can't wait to get more Kara in MOANA tomorrow. But that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed this review, please leave me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the movie. And trust me, I'm open to anything. If you didn't like it, tell me why you didn't like it. If you loved it, tell me what you loved about it. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back for the next movie review. Bye!